Over the course of WWE history, we've seen monster debuts before. The Undertaker in 90, Goldberg in 98, Kurt Angle in 2000. But have we ever seen anything like 2002 Brock Lesnar? I mean, seriously, the brute force, the freakish athleticism. Although it didn't end exactly as everyone expected, 2002 Brock Lesnar impacted WWE unlike any newcomer we'd ever seen. When you think of WWE rookies, you might picture someone green, maybe a little clumsy, figuring out the ropes, well, literally and figuratively. Not Brock Lesnar. The man didn't just walk into WWE. He kicked the door down and started swinging. 2002 was the year Brock Lesnar didn't just arrive. He conquered. Let's break it down and see why this 25-year-old phenom was unstoppable from day one. March 18th, 2002. He showed up on Monday Night Raw the night after WrestleMania 18 with a monstrous chip on his shoulder and a mountain of muscle on his back. No music, no pyro, just pure, unfiltered chaos. Brock Lesnar, flanked by Paul Heyman, his slimy, silver-tongued advocate, hits the ring and dismantles anyone dumb enough to stand in his way. Al Snow, Maven, Spike Dudley, they weren't just beaten, they were erased. Lesnar's first F5, that spinning slam of doom, sent a message. This wasn't a rookie. This was a predator. Right out of the gate, WWE didn't treat Brock like a newbie. They didn't push him in squash matches against no-names to build him up slowly. No, they threw him into the deep end, and he didn't just swim. He parted the damn water. That debut wasn't a match, it was a statement. The commentators were screaming, the crowd was losing it, and backstage, you can bet every wrestler was whispering, "Who the hell is this guy?" By the end of that night, the answer was clear. Brock Lesnar was the next big thing, and he wasn't waiting for permission to take over. This wasn't just a big guy with muscles. Lesnar was a genetic anomaly, an NCAA Division I wrestling champion from the University of Minnesota with a 106-5 college record. He could bench press over 600 pounds, squat close to 1,000, and move like a damn panther. Watch any clip from '02. Brock's agility was insane. He'd scoop up 300-pound dudes like they were rag dolls and toss them across the ring with a suplex that defied physics. And that look, the buzzed head, the cold, piercing eyes, the body that looked carved from granite. He didn't need a gimmick. He was the gimmick. Paul Heyman called him the Beast, and it wasn't hyperbole. In an era where WWE was transitioning from the Attitude Era's wild antics to the ruthless aggression vibe, Lesnar was the perfect storm. Raw, real, and relentless. He didn't cut long promos or dance around. He showed up, destroyed, and left. That simplicity made him unstoppable, because you can't out-talk or outsmart a freight train coming at you full speed. Lesnar's first real feud wasn't some slow burn. It was a demolition derby. The Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt, were fan favorites, high-flying daredevils who'd been tearing it up for years. At Backlash 2002, just a month after his debut, Brock faced Jeff Hardy in his first official WWE match. And oh man, it wasn't a match, it was a massacre. Jeff threw everything at him, flips, kicks, that crazy swanton bomb. Brock didn't flinch. He caught Jeff midair like a kid snagging a frisbee, then beat him so bad the ref stopped the match. TKO. Done. The crowd was stunned. This wasn't scripted domination. This felt real. A month later at Judgment Day, he took on both Hardys in a handicap match with Heyman in his corner. 2 against 1, and Brock still ragdolled them. Matt and Jeff tried their tag team magic, but Lesnar shrugged it off, hit double suplexes, and finished them like it was nothing. By mid-2002, the myth was growing. Nobody could stop this guy. Not speed, not teamwork, not experience. Brock was a one-man wrecking crew, and WWE was smart enough to let him run wild. Still a fresh face on the main roster, Lesnar's path of destruction only grew more violent. The next unfortunate souls included the likes of Bubba Ray Dudley, Test, and even the red-hot Rob Van Dam, who got launched around like a cruiserweight. Night after night, Lesnar showcased a unique blend of terrifying power and freakish agility. He was manhandling veterans, delivering suplexes and F5s as if they were routine warm-ups. And at his side, the ever-grinning Paul Heyman, whose gleeful proclamations of the next big thing became more reality than hype. If there's one moment that cemented Brock's unstoppable 2002, it's the King of the Ring tournament. Unlike your standard tournament, King of the Ring came with a monstrous prize that year, a guaranteed shot at the undisputed WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Given that Lesnar was already setting Raw and SmackDown on fire, most fans assumed he'd storm through the bracket, and they were right. In the quarterfinals, Brock shrugged off Booker T, a 5-time WCW champion, like he was a rookie. not the other way around. In the semis, Test got suplexed all over the ring before eating an F5 that practically cratered the mat. In the finals, Lesnar's faced Rob Van Dam, arguably the most innovative, high-flying mid-card star at the time. RVD threw his entire arsenal at Brock. Rolling thunder, spin kicks, top rope maneuvers. It didn't matter. One F5 later, Lesnar pinned Mr. Monday Night clean in the center of the ring. Just like that, at 25, Brock Lesnar was the king of the ring. Historically, winning this tournament was a stepping stone to bigger things, just like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, or Kurt Angle. But for Brock, it was more than that. It was like WWE strapped a rocket to the man's back and said, "Go forth and conquer." Think about that. 3 months into his WWE career, and he's already punching his ticket to the main event of one of the biggest shows of the year. Most rookies are still figuring out how to take a bump. Brock was rewriting the playbook. That win wasn't just a trophy. It was proof that no style, no veteran, no trick could slow him down. He was inevitable. After King of the Ring, Lesnar was laser focused on one thing, taking the undisputed WWE Championship. And that title was around the waist of The Rock, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, the icon who had carried the company on his back, who'd just come off a massive triple threat victory at Vengeance 2002 against The Undertaker and Kurt Angle. Now all roads lead to SummerSlam, where the biggest rising star in recent memory would clash with the People's Champion. But before The Rock got Brock's full attention, Lesnar had some other heavyweight names to flatten. Lesnar wasn't sitting around patiently, he was hunting. Night after night, he reminded the WWE Universe that no star, legend, or fan favorite was off limits. In August, Lesnar confronted the immortal Hulk Hogan on SmackDown. That was supposed to be an epic clash of eras, the unstoppable rookie monster versus the most recognized figure in wrestling's past. But what happened was borderline gruesome. Brock pummeled Hogan into a bloody heap, squeezed the life out of him with a monstrous bear hug, and left the legend lying unconscious on national television. The sight of Hulkamania lying in a pool of his own blood was a visual that put the entire locker room on notice. This was not a storyline squash match. This was Brock Lesnar making an example out of an icon. If a certified legend like Hogan couldn't walk out of a match with Lesnar in one piece, who on earth could? All the while, Paul Heyman was in Brock's ear, fueling the chaos. Whether it was on the microphone or in backstage manipulations, Heyman was the puppet master who saw in Brock the ultimate weapon. So it all leads to SummerSlam 2002 at Nassau Coliseum, where the unstoppable rookie took on the unstoppable box office megastar. It was set up like the classic freak of nature versus fan favorite champion. This was the pinnacle of his rookie year, and maybe the most insane rookie achievement in wrestling history. The Rock was the guy, Hollywood charisma, 8-time world champ, the face of WWE. Brock was the untested rookie, barely 5 months in. On paper, it's a mismatch. In reality, Brock made The Rock look human. The match itself was electric, power versus speed, intensity versus experience. The Rock tried everything, flying clotheslines, spinebusters, the people's elbow. But Brock Lesnar was just too powerful, too fast, too hungry. Finally, after a thunderous F5, Brock pinned The Rock to become the youngest WWE champion in history at just 25 years old. He also became the second fastest professional wrestler to win the WWE Championship since his debut, 126 days, behind only Ric Flair, 113 days. That win wasn't just a title change, it was a passing of the torch. The Rock was on his way to Hollywood, and Brock was the new king of the mountain. In 5 months, he'd gone from unknown to untouchable. Unstoppable doesn't even cover it. This was domination on a level we haven't seen since, well, ever. It was a definitive stamp of approval, and the birth of something terrifying for every superstar in the locker room. Now, just because you have the championship doesn't mean your life gets easier. The first challenge to come knocking on Lesnar's door was none other than The Undertaker. Fresh off an era where he was rebranding himself as the American Badass, Taker wasn't going to let some rookie monster run around calling the shots. He stepped to Lesnar, wanting to see for himself if the young champion was truly unstoppable. Brock responded by ambushing Taker backstage and mocking his legacy, setting the stage for a brutal clash. Their face-offs erupted into wild brawls. Barricades shattered, refs ducked for cover, and Lesnar relished the chance to topple another icon. In one of the most brutal rivalries of the year, culminating inside Taker's signature match, the Hell in a Cell match, that left them both bloody and battered. But guess who stood tall in the end? the rookie champion. By the end of 2002, Brock's resume reads like a Hall of Fame career. King of the Ring, WWE champion, wins over The Rock, Hogan, and Undertaker, all in his first year. He's 25, and he's already a legend killer. The roster's terrified, the fans are obsessed, and WWE's got a monster they can't control. Up next was a literal giant, the 7-foot, 500-pound Big Show. Conventional wisdom said Lesnar's power might fail against such a colossal opponent, but Brock had no interest in conventions. Fans were stunned as Lesnar effortlessly lifted Big Show for the F5, proving his strength had no limits. At Survivor Series, their title showdown ended in shock when Paul Heyman betrayed Lesnar, helping Big Show deliver a knockout blow. The Giant pinned a stunned Brock, handing him his first real defeat in WWE. Sure, he lost the title, but it took a turncoat manager and a 500-pound behemoth to do it. That's a testament to the unstoppable aura Lesnar had cultivated since day one. Despite losing the belt, Brock's aura remained intact. He'd already crushed names like The Rock, Undertaker, and Hogan, so Big Show's victory via betrayal only proved how formidable Lesnar was. Furious and wounded, he became an even more dangerous force, hunting down Heyman and Big Show for retribution. Anyone who crossed his path risked getting launched through the nearest wall, as a new, angrier Lesnar showed the locker room that he was nowhere near finished rewriting WWE history. 2002 was the perfect time. The Attitude Era was fading, and fans wanted something new, something real. Brock was that shot of adrenaline, a rookie who didn't play by rookie rules. He didn't need years to climb the ladder. He kicked it over and took the top spot. In a year, he wrapped up a legacy most wrestlers chase for decades. By December 31st, 2002, Brock Lesnar wasn't just a rookie. He was the face of WWE's future. Survivor Series saw him drop the title to Big Show after Heyman's betrayal, but even that loss couldn't erase what he'd done. He'd redefined what a rookie could be. Unstoppable? Hell, he was a force in nature. Sure, the year had its rocky moments. Betrayals, losses, and an eventual shift of brands, and speculation about how he'd fare outside of WWE. But that 2002 run was iconic. He'd left The Rock reeling, battered Hogan, survived Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker, and carried the WWE Championship with a swagger that made you think, if this is his first year, what's the ceiling? But the story doesn't end there. As 2002 faded into 2003, Lesnar went on to feud with Kurt Angle, the only Olympic gold medalist in WWE history. When these two athletic monsters finally met, it became a wrestling masterclass wrapped in pure intensity. Click on our next video to witness the epic showdown between Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle, and see just how far the next big thing was willing to go for victory.